In the previous videos we studied about sound. We did a graphical representation of position time graph of sound. We studied about amplitude, wavelength, frequency, time period, velocity of sound. So we did all these things. We studied formula of velocity of sound, which is equal to V equals to velocity equals to frequency into wavelength. So if suppose frequency is given as 20 Hertz, suppose velocity of sound is given as 440 meter per second, then you can easily find out the wavelength of the sound. This will be equal to velocity upon frequency. This will come out to be 22 meters. So this is how you can apply the formula. If any 2 out of 3 quantities are given, then you can easily find the third quantity. Now this speed of sound, it depends on some factors. Speed of sound depend upon, first, the most important factor is the density. Density of what? Density of medium. How close the atoms and molecules of a medium are. Closer they are, more is the density. If the density is more, speed will also be more. So that is why speed of sound in solids is greater than speed of sound in liquids, and this is greater than speed of sound in gases. So sound travels slowest in the gases and fastest in the solids. So if you take example in gases, let us say air. In air, the speed of sound is approximately 340 meter per second. Depends upon the dryness, humidity also, but generally we take this value. In liquid, suppose in water, it is around 1500 meter per second. So it is faster than air. In solids, aluminium for example, it is around 5100 meter per second. 5100 meter per second, or I can say almost 5 kilometers per second. In 1 second the sound travels 5 kilometers. So in solids, because of the density of solid, the molecules of solid are closely packed, so sound energy get transferred very quickly. So that's why the speed of sound is the highest in the solids. Also depends upon the nature of material. There are some materials which absorb the sound. Those materials do not enable the sound to travel much faster. They absorb the energy. Then there are some materials which do not absorb the energy. They help the sound to travel. It depends upon the nature of material, and also depends upon the temperature, because the temperature affects the density of a medium. If you have a solid and if you raise its temperature to a very high value, then the atoms and molecules, they will start breaking apart and there will be gap between different molecules. That means higher temperature reduces density. If temperature is high, density will reduce, and if density reduces, speed of sound will also reduce. So this is how speed of sound is affected by these parameters. Now let us quickly go to the next topic, which is called characteristics of the sound. Those properties of the sound which enable us to identify. We know that there are certain sounds which we identify eventually without even seeing the source. For example, the sound of a guitar, the sound of any musical instrument like piano. Even if we don't see a guitar, immediately we are able to feel that this is the sound of the guitar. How? Because there are certain characteristics of those sounds. So we are going to study 3 important characteristics. First is loudness. How loud a sound is. We talk about loud music, we talk about slow music, a low volume, firecrackers have loud sound. What is loudness actually? The loudness depends upon amplitude of sound. What was amplitude? If this is the sound wave, then this distance, the maximum displacement of the medium particle, that is the amplitude. This amplitude decides whether the sound is loud or not. If the amplitude is high, If the amplitude of a certain sound wave is like this, then it is a loud sound. If the amplitude is less, then it is not so loud. Okay, so loudness is decided by the amplitude of the wave. There is a unit for loudness also. Unit of loudness is called decibel. D-E-C-I-B-E-L, decibel. Its symbol is dB, small d, capital B. So this is how loudness is measured. A second important characteristic is pitch. It decides how shrill a sound is, whether a voice of a person is shrill or not. Generally, females have shrill voice. They have very thin voice. We say that the voice is very shrill. My voice is not so shrill. It is heavy. So what is decided? What is the distinction between shrillness? What is the difference between more shrill and less shrill sound? The difference is pitch, and pitch is decided by frequency of the sound. What was the frequency? Frequency was the number of waves in 1 second. So let us say that if a sound wave is like this in 1 second, then it will have some frequency. If a sound wave in 1 second is like this, whose frequency is higher? Obviously this is higher. There are more number of waves in 1 second, so this frequency is more than this frequency, so this sound will be more shrill. This will be more shrill and this will be less shrill. That means this has, we can say, shrill sound has high pitch and this has low pitch. So pitch decides the shrillness of the sound, which is decided by the frequency. You can note down these diagrams. The diagrams will enable you to understand this concept better. The third and important characteristic is the quality of tone. Now there is no certain parameter to identify the quality of a sound. We will just say it is the quality of sound, or it is also called tone. Now it is not dependent upon amplitude, wavelength or frequency. The quality of sound is actually the feel that we get when we hear a sound. Generally when we hear the sound of traffic, we do not like it because it is too loud, it is too shrill, but whatever it is, we do not like the sound of the traffic. But if a flute is playing, then we like the sound. It may have high pitch, the sound of flute may have high pitch, but still we like the tone of that sound, we like the music of that sound. So this quality of sound or tone is another characteristic of sound. It is also called timbre. Now this is the, we can say, if somebody asks you to define quality of sound, then you can say that quality of sound can be defined as that characteristic. It can be defined as that characteristic which enables us to identify a sound. For example, when we hear someone's voice on the phone and it is from an unknown number, if you know that person, if suppose that person is a friend of yours, if you know that person, you will be immediately able to identify that this is so and so person's voice. If your parents call you on the phone, you will be immediately able to identify that this is the voice of your parents. Similarly, if there is a voice of a guitar in some other room, if you hear it, you will be able to identify that this is the sound of the guitar. What is this superpower of identification? This is nothing but the tone or timbre of the sound which enables us to identify the sound. So this does not depend on anything. It does not depend on frequency or like them. It is just a characteristic which enables us to identify the source. So in this way, these are the different characteristics. The next topic is, it is also an important topic, and you must have noticed it in your daily life. It is called echo. Now what ECHO, what is an echo? If you sometimes go to a hill station or a mountain area and you yell out something loudly, you will hear your own voice. That voice, that sound that you produced will be reflected back by the surroundings, by the hills, by the mountains. It will be reflected back, and a fraction of second later you will hear your own sound. What is that? That is called echo. Echo is reflection of sound. But this is a particular case of reflection of sound. Now human ear, average human ear, it is able to distinguish between two sounds if the time duration between the two sounds is 0.01 seconds or 0.1 seconds. Let me check. It is, yes, it is 0.1 second. If there are two sounds which are coming at me and the time duration, one sound reaches me and then the second sound reaches me after 0.1 second, then I will be able to identify that these are two different sounds. If the time duration between the two sounds is less than 0.1 second, suppose it is 0.01 second, then I will not be able to identify the two sounds separately. It will appear to me that it is a one single sound, same sound only. So if this is the sensitivity of human ear, and let us say that you are standing here and you yell something and there is an obstacle here, let us say at a distance d, then the sound that you will produce will go, it will be reflected back from this surface and it will come back. So the distance traveled by sound, how much is the distance? D on this side and D in this side, so this will be equal to 2D because the sound has to reach back to us. Time is 0.1 second. Velocity, let us say 343 meter per second. The general value of velocity, let us say 343 meter per second. So if this is the case, then we know that the distance is equal to time into velocity. So 2D equals to 343 into 0.1, or D if you calculate, then it will be approximately equal to 17.2 meter. So this means, what does this mean? If this distance between the source of sound and the reflecting surface, if this distance is greater than or equal to 17.2 meter, then we are going to hear an echo. I hope this is clear. This is the concept of echo. In this class, in your 9th class, it is of not, it is just this much. But in higher classes, if you take science, in higher classes, this is a very widely studied topic. So you are going to study it in very much extent in the higher classes. Here it is just like that much only. All you have to understand is that you are the source of sound. If I am speaking and the distance between me and the reflecting surface is large, like it is in empty rooms. If it is large, then you are going to hear your own voice after reflection, and that distance between the source of sound and reflecting should be greater than or equal to 17.2 meters. So if this is available, there will be an echo. Otherwise, there will not be an echo. We will feel that it is the single sound that is coming to us. Now another topic which is related to echo only. It is, you can say it is a special case of echo, and it is called reverberations. Now what happens, sometimes you are in a large auditorium. It is an empty auditorium. It is a very large auditorium, closed space, closed building, a large auditorium. The reflecting surface are very far away from you. Then what happens that if you produce a sound, that sound will keep on echoing for a larger period of time. So reverberation is nothing but echo only, but for a larger period of time. So it is called persistence of sound due to echo. The sound will keep on reflecting from different walls and roof and floor and will keep on traveling for some amount of time. Then it is called reverberation. If it just the sound only reflects for a few seconds, for one or 2 seconds, then it is called echo. So when we go to movie halls, for example, you must have seen that in movie halls everything is covered. The walls have different wooden decorations, the seats are thick foam, the floor has a carpet, there are curtains everywhere, the ceiling also have some kind of false ceilings. You will see that they have different holes in the walls and ceilings, like the small pores type holes. What are these? These are actually not for decoration. They look decorative, but they are actually not for decoration. They have a scientific meaning. These materials are called acoustics. ACOUSTICS, acoustics. These are generally made up of plastic or foam or POP, plaster of Paris, and curtains, which are cloth, but it is a thick cloth. So these kind of materials, they are called acoustics, and they have a specific property that they absorb the sound. They do not allow the sound to reflect. If these acoustics are not present in a cinema hall, in a movie hall, then you would not be able to hear the sound properly. All the sounds that are produced by the speakers, they will overlap with each other and you will not be able to understand what is going on. So what is the function of these? They absorb the sound and thus they reduce the reverberation or they minimize the reverberation, and you are able to hear a single sound so that the music or the dialogues or playing on the screen, they become clear. So this is how echo and reverberation works. There are many applications also. Stethoscope, there is sonar. You can study it from textbook, that is pure theory. If you do not understand anything in those topics, you can message me. I will make a different video for those topics only.